Namaskar, folks. Welcome to yet another episode of my tech podcasts. Today we have another humble personality with us named Deepanshi Sharma. So we'll be chatting on another fellowship with her called XROS Fellowship. And by the way, she has written a blog also on her experience. So after you finish this video, do check out her blog. And yeah, let's start. Hi Deepanshi, hope you are having a great new year.
Hey Srijan, yeah, I'm having a great new year. Hope you are doing the same too.
Yeah, okay. So would you like to introduce yourselves to the audience?
Hey everyone, I'm Deepanshi Sharma. I'm a third year undergrad at Thapar Institute of Engineering and Technology. I'm pursuing computer science. And over these course of 3 years, I've participated in a lot of hackathons, in a lot of open source programs, and in other competitive programming competitions. One of which was this XROS, Extended Reality Open Source, which gave me a new perspective of XR, mixed reality. And I learned a lot about blockchain, about XR, and about how things work in Web3.
Well, that was a great introduction, Deepanshi. As she has mentioned about XROS Fellowship, let's focus on that only. First, let's tell us about what is the difference between those fancy terms AR, VR, XR. So the audience would like to know about that first.
Let's start with virtual reality. That's the most intriguing one, where you wear a headset and you see the world. You see a virtual world inside the headset. And then there comes augmented reality. Let's say I'm giving this talk and there's something pops out on my screen. That's augmented reality. And if we see XR, that is mixed reality, which includes your current reality, what you're seeing with your eyes right now, and what you're seeing virtually, and it mixes both of them at a single place. So if some of you may know about Meta Quest 3, which was recently launched, it uses mixed reality to give a really immersive experience to the audience.
Okay, I hope everyone has got it clear. What's the clear difference between all these three terms? What was actually XROS Fellowship, which was held last year?
Yeah, so XROS Fellowship was held this year only, and it was about giving a few developers the experience of contributing in open source in XR. So as you know, XR is a very recent term. It has just popped out just
Yeah.
very recently. Yeah, so everyone is intrigued by it, but not there are not a lot of developers which are there,
Yeah.
which contribute to open source in XR.
Yeah, the
So it
community
was,
hasn't developed there.
yeah, exactly. So it was a program which provided a platform to people to contribute to the open source projects, and it also was a really good platform for organizations to market themselves and to show the audience what they're doing in this world.
Okay, so one more thing I would like to mention that it was an initiative of Reskill, I guess.
Yeah, it was an initiative of Reskill and FICCI, Federation of Indian Chambers and Commerce.
So how many people were selected in total at that time?
In our cohort, there were 100 developers.
Okay, 100 developers. That's a quite low number out of so many people who had tried,
Yeah,
including me
we
also.
actually came to know that there were 10,000 people who applied and only
Yeah.
100 got selected. So we were very lucky,
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah. And one more thing the audience would like to know, like this was a separate kind of a different kind of open source opportunity. People usually know about GSOC and outreachy and all those things. So what was the difference and what were the similarities with those open source opportunities?
The similarities, I would say, it was an open source program.
Yeah.
It gave a lot of people a lot of exposure, and you did, with that feeling that yes, we are contributing in the open source. That
Yeah.
satisfaction that it gives.
Yeah, we are
When
making
it
some
comes to
serious
differences, it was
contributions.
hmm, exactly. It helps a lot in the careers. Like
Yeah.
I've seen people get jobs and getting so many big projects. It was really nice. And coming to differences, I would say it was the XROS was focused more on XR.
Okay.
Yeah, it aimed to develop that community only. So all the organizations, be it Indian, be it foreign organizations, both the organizations were, aiming only for XR.
And did this program focus on some particular section of society, like outreach focuses on underrepresented sections? So was it the same case here?
No, uh,
Okay.
everyone was given a chance. And if we talk about statistics, there were 19 women out of 100 developers.
Okay, so it was complete on merit basis. You go, you
It
see
was
the
completely on
project,
merit basis.
contribute, give the interviews and all those things. Fine. And what were the eligibility criteria to be for this program?
Yeah, so anyone was eligible, be it a college student, be it a working professional.
Okay.
But as far as I remember, there was a criteria for college students only being in third year or fourth year to be able to contribute.
Okay. Okay. And the question for which most of the people would be having butterflies flying in the stomach. What was the stipend for this program?
It was 4 lakhs for 3 months. They
Okay.
gave 1 lakh after the first month and another 1 lakh after second month, and the remaining 2 lakhs were given after the third month.
So the procedure is quite similar to GSOC, where we have two breakups of giving the stipends, like the mid evaluation and the end evaluation. So here we had three terms.
Yeah,
And I had heard about the special 2 lakhs for performers also. So what was
yeah.
that case?
They actually gave, there was an XROS Summit after the
Okay.
completion of the fellowship, and they gave 2 lakhs each to top 10 performers.
Okay. So how were
That's
those
6
top 10?
lakhs.
Yeah, 6 lakhs actually. So how those performers were actually selected? Like
They
any
were
internal
selected on the
algorithm?
basis of their open source contributions, and they
Okay.
were, named by their organizations only.
What was the program tenure for this?
It was 3 months.
Okay, so including contributions and interview processes, or from after interview process, then
After
3 months.
interview, after getting selected, it was 3 months.
Okay. It was mentioned like third year and fourth year only could apply in the college, so second years had to wait. Maybe this year, if it comes, then they have a chance.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's come to the application procedure, because people who are focusing to get selected this year, if it comes, they will have to focus on this part more. So I guess the first part was the form or application or profile approval round. So just tell about all the process that was there in the form, all the questions.
Yeah, there was a form which required your basic information, your open source contributions, what have you done in XR till now. And
Okay.
I remember I didn't have any open source contributions in XR, but I did have them in
Okay.
other fields. So yeah, I wrote those only. And
Mm.
I also wrote why I want to be a part of this program, why I have interest in XR and everything. And my profile was selected based on that only.
Okay, so obviously that needed a good GitHub profile, obviously.
For sure, yeah.
Okay, and any role of personal portfolios there
Um, I don't remember sending my personal portfolio, but yeah, I do remember it. GitHub profile should be, it should
up
be
to
well
date and
managed with,
all the
yeah,
green
very
should be
much.
there.
Yeah, and
Okay,
it
so
should have open source contributions.
actually the same case was with me also. So I had no contributions in XR. Even I had
Hmm.
not explored XR till now, till that time. But I did mention my other contributions related to ML or Flutter. So yeah, they actually accepted people who had some
Hmm.
open source contributions. Okay, so next was the project proposal after getting selected
Hmm.
to that. Okay, so what was the scenario there?
Okay, so the scenario was there was a Slack workplace where
Hmm.
everyone whose profile was selected was in the community only, and there were like every day there used to be a lot of questions at what I'm supposed to do, how I'm supposed to do this, and yeah, I talked to a lot of people there. I made a lot of networks on the Slack community only, and we had to submit proposals for maximum 4 organizations, and the projects were given by organizations only. So we had to select it, create our proposal for the same project, write our timeline, whatever we are going to do, what is our plan of action, and everything in the proposal, and then submit it.
Okay. And apart from XR, were there any common technologies that most of the projects focused?
Not exactly focused, but there were other technologies which were required, such as JavaScript or maybe Python, let's say.
Okay.
So yeah, they are
Yeah.
basically required in almost all. Like we created our project in 3JS also.
Okay.
So
So
it required a lot of
yeah, most of the projects did mention about Blender, Unreal Engine.
Hmm.
That's the part of game development and XR thing.
No,
Apart
but
from
it
that,
yeah,
yeah,
it was I was well
3JS
versed
and
with Blender at that time. That gave me an
oh,
edge.
okay, okay. Yeah, 3JS, I also remember that it helps in creating some visual effects. So it comes to that part also. You mentioned the limit was applying on 4 projects at most. Okay, so and were there foreign projects also?
Yeah, there were organizations from outside India.
Okay, Dipanshi, I would like to focus more on the proposal preparation part. So I do remember that template was given by Reskill itself. So that made our work a bit easy. But what all sections one should have mentioned and in how much detail? So would you like to throw some light on that?
Yeah, so they did give a sample for proposal, but they also said that it wasn't necessary. But I chose to use that sample only as I found it very precise and
Yeah.
to the mark of what I want to share. Yeah, so I created my proposal very precisely. I believe I spent 2 weeks on 4 proposals,
Okay.
and I included the plan of action, how I'm supposed to work things out, how I'm going to execute my projects. I also shared all of my open source contributions. I shared references to my professors and like every work I've done till now. And I also included a lot of charts, bar graphs, and colorful things to make the proposal understanding better. Yeah,
Okay.
I actually created a whole timeline to show my plan of action, how I'm going to execute the project in one per week.
Talking about the timeline thing, in almost all the open source programs, people are required to mention this timeline, how you would be progressing with the project with each week. So, as a beginner to that project or with that organization, how you actually find that, yes, I will be able to do this particular thing in this week, and how I'll be able to stick with this timeline actually.
Yeah, there's a trick to it. You talk to the mentors. You talk to the people
Okay.
who are there for the project guidance. They'll tell you exactly what they want and exactly what you're supposed to do, and that's how you can create your timeline.
Okay, so
The,
talking to the mentors is the hack for the timeline. And in this preparing the project proposal round, what happens in GSOC? People start contributing much before the
hmm.
applications are opened. So was the case same here?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I remember contributing in some organizations before sending my proposal.
Can the applicants interact with the mentors? Like,
Yes, they can. They can interact with the mentors on the Slack workplace, or they also have the email IDs of the mentors, so they can email their proposals for a final check, or they can ask for how I'm supposed to do this project, what are the things are required, and all that. Some mentors
and
even provide Discord channels
hmm,
for the same. Yeah, you can enter their Discord communities and you can ask the questions there.
usually what happens that mentors are very busy people. They have to
Exactly.
manage that technical aspect of the project also and then answer so much of the doubts of the applicants. So
Hmm.
did it happen to you that you did not get a response for some time from the mentor, or they had the quite a lot free time to answer you?
Yeah, it depended on mentor to mentor. I would say some mentors were busy, a lot of really busy, and some mentors were free. They were available for the project. And one really good thing that Reskill did was they organized AMA sessions with all the mentors they could.
Yeah, right.
So it was really easy. We could post our doubts in the YouTube chat only, and they answered our doubts right away. So that was the most useful thing, like for just clearing out our notes.
Okay. Apart from mentioning your previous open source contributions and contributions you made to that project at that time, um, did the guys had to focus on technologies like XR, AR, VR also?
I did. I remember, working on AR as soon as I saw this opportunity, and I knew Blender, I knew basics of AR, but I created projects after that, and then those were very useful in my interview.
Okay, so that is actually a good hack for people. If you don't know some technology and you need it for some proposal or for some opportunity, it's better to use those 15 to 20 days to learn and then give some of that shot, because it's
That,
better to
yeah,
write
that goes
something.
on everywhere. You
Yeah.
apply for the internship and then you learn the technologies. It
Yeah.
works. It works every time.
So it's better to write something instead of
Hmm.
completely leaving that. I have seen lots of people completely leaving the section that they are applying for, but they don't know. So that
Hmm.
gives a bad impression actually. So if you learn something in that short period and then try to show the mentor that yes, I am curious to learn, and whatever the time I had, I tried my best to learn, and I'm just giving my proposal around that. So that gives a very positive impact to the mentors that yes, this person, if they don't know something, they are very curious to learn that in very short time also. So that can
Yeah,
be,
very true.
yeah, that can be an edge over other applicants also. Okay, coming to one more interesting question, you mentioned about charts. So I usually don't I haven't used any charts till now. So how did it occur to your mind that you can use charts for visualization in the proposal? I haven't heard from
Uh,
anyone till now.
yeah, actually, there was a table for which we had to show our plan of action, and filled it very precisely, everything up to the mark. And then I saw, will it be easy for the person reading this? And then I decided that okay, I'll create a short chart for the people reading this, and it will be very easy for them. I created it with headlines, I color coded it. Yeah, I like to do those things.
Okay, so that was another creative thinking of yours, because obviously people or mentors have very much less time to go through entire text of all the applicants, and many applicants might write waste of things or that are not related to the project
Yeah,
at that
even
point of
since
time.
ChatGPT is there, so there's like
Yeah,
so much content. You just can't absorb that much content.
yeah. So it's
So yeah,
better to
that
go through
yeah,
visualization.
definitely.
Okay. And yeah, the AMA sessions were great. I also remember that almost all the projects, all the mentors came and explained about their
Mm.
projects, what they actually needed from the students. Usually that doesn't happen with other programs, but
Yeah, with other, yeah, definitely.
that made things easy for the applicants actually. And also that made it easy for us to decide which project we should apply and which we should leave. This project
Hmm.
is asking for very heavy contributions that is not in my skill set as of now. So let's leave this one. Let's focus on some other project. So that actually helped
That's
me.
yeah, that's actually how I decided which organization I'm going to contribute to.
Okay.
So yeah, that was very helpful.
How many organizations did you prepare proposal for?
Four. Maximum was four, so I worked really
Okay.
hard for this four.
How much time was taken to inform about the interview rounds?
Uh, I was called 2 days before the interview. I remember I was, sitting in a hackathon. It was my
Okay.
team switch. It was the next turn for my team switch,
Okay.
and I just had a call, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is Reskill's number. I have to take this call." And I went outside. I missed my team switch. I was so happy about my interview. Yeah, I
Okay.
can't forget that day. And then as soon as I got the call, I started preparing for it.
I can feel the excitement, or what can I
Hmm.
say, during that time when you are supposed to pitch in some hackathon and then some other internship opportunities calls comes. Okay. By the way, how much time gap was there between applying with the proposal and the interview call came? Like 1 week, 10 days,
1 week.
1 week.
Those were really difficult. I had almost lost all my hope that okay, I don't know
Okay.
if I'll be selected or not. And then one day out of sudden I get a call. It
Okay.
was too good.
So you got call from only Fanesco or other organizations also?
I got an email from another organization, but I wasn't selected in the further rounds.
Okay.
And I got a call for Periscope directly for interview.
Okay. How many interviews were there?
There was a single interview for our organizations, but number of interviews depended on organization to organization.
Okay, so different organizations may have taken a single interview for technical and one HR round. Okay. So you had only one interview focused on technical aspects.
Yeah, my
No
interview
HR,
started
no
with
HR
technical.
thing.
My interview started with technical questions, but it ended with two HR questions.
Okay, so it was a mix of things.
Mix.
I remember there were announcements regarding to keep the course of your mentioned projects or contributions ready during the interviews so that you can show them or explain them.
Hmm.
So were you asked to show your code also for some
I
mentioned
was
project?
asked to show my augmented reality projects. I had them ready and I showed them in the
Okay,
interview itself.
okay. So what were the questions that they asked, especially the counter questions?
They asked about what was the technology I was using, how I was using, why I was using, and they really focused on getting to know me as a developer. If I will I be able to do this project? How is she thinking when it comes to AR and everything?
And did they go much deep into technical aspects of your projects?
No,
Okay. So
they focus more on my knowledge of AR
okay.
and other technologies that were required for the project instead of going deep into one technology.
Okay. And did they mention something about like would you be busy during that time when the contributions begin or something like that?
Yeah, they asked this question, and I had my exams in May. If I'm not wrong. Yeah, I had my exams in May, but I was able to manage it.
Okay. So exams didn't affect that particular fact.
No, no, didn't actually. I had a really good teammate for that.
Um, so I was asking about that during the interviews, the interviewers did not pay much attention to that the exams would be happening during the contribution period, and you might step back for some time or have delays in contributing. So that was not the case during the interviews.
No, they understood. They understood that yeah, the exams are also be an important aspect of
Yeah, yeah,
our technical journey.
okay, yeah. Yeah. Did they ask about your hackathon or previous other internship journeys also during
They
interview?
asked about my previous open source contributions, about my hackathons, which I participated, what I created, and everything. Yeah.
Okay. So were they like impressed or did you feel that yes, I have now got this interview after mentioning about my hackathon wins?
Not after that, but after answering the HR questions, I was like, yeah,
Okay.
I definitely did good. I would like to mention we had another round, getting to know round with the management of UNESCO. They asked us
Okay.
a few HR questions and they discussed from where we are, what have we done till now, whether we are self-taught or whether we have had proper training in AR. Yeah,
Okay.
so that round was a really good round to get to know about my team and for them to get to know me.
So this was an elimination round or
No, this was
just a
after
simple?
selection.
Okay.
This was only
Then
for UNESCO.
okay. Then no worries. If it not
Then
an
no
elimination
worries.
round, then no worries.
But
Okay.
you really need to know what are you going to do after
Yeah,
what you're going to do in
that
5 years.
yeah. And how much time was taken for the between the interviews concluded and your selection mail came?
It wasn't much, less than a week perhaps. And I remember that day also, I just came inside my home. I stepped a foot inside the door. I opened my phone. I saw the email, and my mom put a rasgulla in my mouth. It was a really wholesome moment.
Yeah.
And I
And
was like, wait, let me speak. I just got selected.
okay. Okay, then your mother would have put another rasgulla in her mouth.
She did, she did.
Any tips, tricks you would like to mention for the future applicants for this
Do have
XROS
good
fellowship?
open source contributions before applying. And try to have open source contribution in XR. Now that there are a lot of organizations, which
Mm,
there were a lot of organizations in XROS itself.
mm.
So you will get a lot of ideas for how to, what to, and everything that you need to know for open source. It will be
Yeah.
really it will be really great for a technical journey itself, not only for this fellowship.
One more thing that I think one can do is to browse the projects that were included in last year's program. Check if you can solve some of the
Hmm.
bugs or issues, and that might start your journey, and that can even
It helped
yeah.
me. It helped me. I just did resolve few issues before applying my proposals.
Okay. Would you like to mention about your project and its tech stacks?
Yeah, so my project was listing NFTs in AR. It
Okay.
required a decent knowledge of blockchains. It required the knowledge of 3JS and augmented reality, of course. So the major part that we focused on was NFTs in the beginning. Finisco had a lot of NFTs, so we had to get all of them in augmented reality. And then the later part of the program, we focused on the augmented reality.
Was the case there also like someone was selected for multiple projects from those four proposals?
Yeah, they actually told us that if someone got selected for multiple projects, they will be given few days to decide which project to choose, like
Okay.
which project they have to work on.
So finally, you could work for only one project. Okay.
They won't give you 8
And
lakhs.
okay. All right. And contributions were solo or in team?
For our organization, they were in team. Finisco
Okay.
had 3 projects
Okay.
and 2 people on each project. So me and
Okay.
my teammate, we did our contributions as a team.
And what was your experience working on a project, like technical, non-technical also?
So I had a very great experience working with Finisco. They had a few meetings they termed as Feel Good Fridays or Get to
Okay.
Know Tuesdays. So
Okay.
we did learn a lot about other developers' journeys, and we played a few puzzles on Fridays. So other than that, there were official meetings. We had a weekly meeting to check up on what we are doing in our projects. We had
Okay.
one mentor assigned to each project, and our mentor Sarath sir was he was a really good mentor. He was a mentor we actually needed. Yeah, he was always there to guide us, but there was no work pressure on us at all.
Okay. So Fanisco, your company actually focused on all aspects, technical also, and
And
refreshing
non-technical also.
non-tech sessions also. Okay. Since you have mentioned a lot about your teammate, would you like to mention him or her and give a shout out?
Yeah, definitely. My teammate was Chirag Singh, and he was the best teammate ever. There was a really good coordination between us because I had my exams in May, he had his exams in June. So when I had my
Okay.
exam for that week, he just took the hold of all the project, and in June I handled that. So there was a really good coordination. We didn't have any arguments or fights or whatsoever. We both came from different tech backgrounds, and
Okay.
still we were easily able to make this project a success.
Okay.
So
So
yeah,
you
huge
both
kudos to
basically
him.
resonated at all instants during the project.
Yeah, and he had a really good tech stack. He's really good in 3JS, like really good.
And since we are coming to close of this XROS journey of yours, the one last thing is XROS Summit, which I would like to ask you. So, what was the experience going there?
So XROS Summit was held in Delhi in the Imperial Hotel, and it was the day we all were waiting for.
Okay.
And when we arrived there, we had few speaker sessions, we had networking sessions, and I met so many brilliant people. Like you can't even think that, oh my God, how can you achieve so much in this short span? And I also got a chance to speak. I got a chance to showcase my project in the summit itself. And yeah, it was a really great experience.
Okay. Okay. So the XROS journey comes to an end. I would like to tell the audience that apart from XROS 23 fellowship, she has also been able to win Smart India Hackathon 2022. So would like to ask about the entire experience in one shot from
SIH.
Deepanshi. Yeah.
Yeah, we spent 2 days without sleeping, without eating, and in fact, we spent the whole week prior to it coding
Okay.
only.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was a month before the grand finale. We came to know that we got selected for SIH, and that whole month we left everything else. We focused only on our project. And when the grand finale came, we pitched it to our judges, to our mentors. We came to know a lot of new technologies, and we learned them at that time only, and we implemented them in the project. And I don't know, luckily, Fortunately, we won SIH. So our project was given by the Department of School Education and Literacy. Our problem statement was given by them. And our project focused on a holistic growth of a child, such as in cognitive, in psychomotor, and affective domains. Like Indian parents don't have any idea how the child is going to grow up. They just think that, yeah, child will study, they'll play, and they'll grow up. But that's not how the growth actually happens. There are a lot of scientific things that happen in one child's life.
Yeah.
So our project focused on, guiding the parents how their child is going to develop and helping the child in developing better.
That seems an interesting subject. So, what was your
Yes.
solution? What was your team's solution to that?
So we created an app only, and it had two different sections, one for child, where they had different games that we used
Okay.
to play when we were children, right? Because
Like
we
in
didn't have
the,
any mobile phones, we didn't have tablets to play.
yeah,
So we used
yeah.
to play games. So we, accumulated all of those games in our mobile app.
Okay.
And we had a separate sections for parents where they can get to know of how to raise their kids, and they had it also had a community where they can seek help from other parents, and it also had a few, let's say, activities which a parent can ask their child to do.
Okay.
So it helped the parents in helping that child develop in a lot better way.
So it was basically a mobile app only. So no fancy technologies were included.
We had a mobile app and a website. And we also planned to get a hardware, but it was in our future scope. We were not able to do that in the hackathon itself.
Okay, so I mean to say like machine learning, blockchain wasn't included at that time.
Machine learning was included, blockchain wasn't.
Okay, okay. So actually, because I have a notion that machine learning actually fills your project with magic actually.
Yeah, it does. It does. And it was a very important element of our project.
Okay, and what about the project or internal hackathon round? How did you guys clear that?
Yeah, we applied to two different problem statements actually. Like it
Okay,
was allowed to submit for multiple problem statements.
yeah.
So we applied for both of them. We created the presentation. We showed it to our professors and whoever the judges were, and that's how the internal selection was passed.
Okay, so there wasn't any issues regarding applying for multiple projects or giving presentation for them. Okay, and what was that scene in the finals of SIH regarding that multiple project thing? Did the judges entertain that?
We had to choose one. We actually our team got selected for two different projects. So we chose
Okay,
one which we felt more comfortable in.
okay.
And the other problem statement was given by AICTE, and we chose
Mhm.
the one by docent.
Come to know about the journey of SIH as from Dipanshi's point of view. Um, One last thing in this podcast show episode, um, Dipanshi has cleared the interview of Salesforce, and she's an upcoming intern there. So congratulations for that, Dipanshi.
Thank you. Congratulations
And
to you too for Amazon.
thanks. But I would be continuing in Texas right now.
Congratulations.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so would you like to throw some light on the journey of cracking this Salesforce also? So was it off campus or on campus?
It was on campus, and we
Okay.
had one online assessment and two technical rounds.
Okay, two technical rounds.
Yeah.
So those technical rounds were focused on DSA, comparative
The
programming.
first one was focused on DSA, and the second one was focused on computer science fundamentals,
Okay.
and also on my projects.
Okay, so they split the interviews, one complete for DSA and one for other technical things. So
Both are
usually,
back-to-back interviews, actually.
okay, means the gap was half an hour like that. Okay, so everyone had to be ready for the next interview after giving the first one. Okay. Dipanshi, would you like to mention some of your friends, family members, or any club at your college for your success?
First of all, my family members. Like it's the story of every month at a house. I go to them. I say I got selected in something. And they are always ready to take me everywhere. They took me to Karnataka for SIH, they took me to Kanpur for ICPC, and they took me to Delhi for XROS Summit. So yeah, they have this unwavering support for me, and they've always supported me for everything that I've done. And also another mention to my college professors, Dr. Prashant Singh Rana. He's always been there. Whenever an SIH, I called him in the evening, so we won. And when I got internship at Salesforce, I called him at 10 in the night. So we won. I got interned. And he's always there to guide me, to provide me to provide the exact path on how to do and what to do stuff. So yeah, and I'm very thankful to have friends who create healthy competition for me to grow.
Okay, so yeah, that's actually great luck to have such professors in your life who can guide you in mature way because they have seen the lives, what actually
Of
happens,
so
and they
many
have seen.
students, yeah,
Yeah.
they have seen so many experiences, people cracking GSOC, people doing this, people doing that, and they have all the knowledge on how to do these things. And if they help you out, that's so great.
So yeah, that was all. Thanks, Deepanshi, for coming. Hope the audience would have gained too much insights about this XROS fellowship, as well as SIH, and overall a journey of open source. Thanks, Deepanshi.
Thank you, Srijan, for inviting me. It's a really great opportunity for me, and yeah, I loved recording this podcast.
Thanks, guys. Signing off.